Earlier in the day, I felt like a monster.
This is impossible. This is never going to work.
Far too many Prosecco's last night. So we have finally run out of gas.
Yeah, sometimes you just see someone in a lay-by, you think it resembles something close to a Glastonbury toilet, I imagine.
That must have come down in last night's winds.
My other worry while I'm up here is still this water. Wondering whether I'll put this through my leg or something. You aren't watching this channel for like expert advice, are you?
Yeah, you're not going to get that here.
Hi, I'm Daz and she's B. We've had our motorhome since June last year and have already had many adventures and made plenty of maverick mistakes on our travels.
Our dreams of owning a home in France were shattered after Brexit. Then we failed to move somewhere more rural after our house sale fell through in the UK.
We bought Stampy, our 10-year-old motorhome, in the hope that we can live a life less ordinary and explore the UK and Europe with our kids and our greyhound Sammy whenever we can.
Please join us as we try new things, make memories as we escape in the motorhome.
Hello and welcome to Escape in the Motorhome. Today is the 30th of December, Friday. We're heading up to see relatives just north of Oxford for an overnight stay in Stampy. We've already arranged an extension cable and a heater because B and I suffered really badly with the cold, and being complete novices we actually had quite a rough time in the recent cold weather. So tonight we're going to go prepared. My only concern is I still haven't taken out breakdown cover, and I know that's stupid and I'm going to end up living to regret it. One last winging it trip without breakdown cover in 2022, and in 2023 my New Year's resolution is take out breakdown cover because we're going to be doing loads of adventures, not just in this country I hope. I've shoved a shed load of duvets and pillows up there. It's waiting to collapse, hopefully it won't. We've got some leftover Christmas food, including a box of candy canes, randomly. Sammy's bed is in, we've got some other stuff in. We just need all our tech, and then we can escape this dull, wet and windy day and go and see some relatives for some takeout and mulled wine perhaps. Catch you later.
Well, it's not every day when your son turns 18, so they had a bit of a do around our house last night, which means I got zero sleep. Managed to catch a couple of hours in the motorhome en route to see my brother and his family today. So we're up in Brackley and I'm feeling slightly more alive. I think I've clocked up about 4.5 hours. So I'm feeling slightly better about the sleep that I've had. Earlier in the day, I felt like a monster and I wasn't sure whether I would be able to function. We're nearly at my brother's house and we're hoping that we'll be able to fit our 7-foot motorhome on 7 foot. I'm very tired. We're hoping that we'll be able to fit our 7-metre motorhome on their driveway. I think we will be okay because they've recently had it done and my sister-in-law seems to think it's going to be okay. We'll hook up to their electricity, we're going to borrow their oil-filled heater and it should be toasty tonight. So
this is so fun. This looks like a kind of swing out over there.
Do you want me to get out and help you?
Let's go forwards a bit.
Hello!
Hello. Well, I'm going to be working on the solar panel and I thought you might like to watch me. So I've been doing a little bit inside and I thought I'd bring this outside and show you what I've been doing because I didn't want to show you my practice run because it's often quite embarrassing. And today is probably the first day in about 10 days I can actually tolerate being outside longer than 10 minutes. So I've bought some self-tapping stainless steel screws. We've got our plastic feet to go through onto our frame, and I was drilling for about 10 minutes with a drill bit inside thinking this is impossible, this is never going to work, and then realised because this metal drill bit looks exactly like all the other drill bits, so I thought, well, there's nothing wrong with that, except when I found a spare, and it turns out they all look like that because they're all rounded off, and it would have taken me about a week to put in 8 holes into this panel. As soon as I switched, straight in. So keep your tools sharp, everybody. So what we're doing is taking these plastic feet, I've gone for white, and we're going to drill through into the aluminium frame and fix with stainless steel screws. And I've chosen stainless steel because they don't rust. However, I believe I've read online there could be a reaction between the stainless steel and the aluminium, so I need to go and Google that and then see if there's any kind of silicon barrier or something maybe. Anyway, and as ever, I'm no expert. So there's something I was thinking about. People tend to go online and look for videos because they either need something, they desire something, or they're curious. And I was thinking, well, nobody needs to watch me put solar panels together. I'm not sure this is desirable, so I'm guessing you guys are all just curious, wondering whether I'll put this through my leg or something. Takes its time, but it'll get there. There we go. Little micro beads of plastic in the environment. Probably where it was better off being inside. Doesn't sit happy with me, that. I'll scratch my plate up a little bit there. So I'm putting the feet on first, so I can move them around on the rooftop, because I know I've got loads of obstacles up there. But also I don't want to risk gluing the feet down and then having any problems. So if I put the feet on now, I can definitely mark out exactly where the feet are going to be, and I know if I'm going to bump into anything. That's the theory. By the way, these little stainless steel self-tapping pan head screws from Screwfix. I had to buy 100 though. I need 16. But they don't do a smaller pack. Sorry about the noise. It does take a couple of goes. There we go. I just rounded it off. That's why you buy a pack of 100. So you can throw away the ones that you round off. Stay there, I've just got to go and get another one. A little bit more brute force this time. I can't be shy. There we go. Now, I've already done 2 down the bottom, so I've got last one to do. And then we can, while the sun's out, put it up on the roof and have a look. See how it's going to fit on. Yay! I've done it! And I've done it all to the smell of somebody's bacon fry-up. Right, I'll get the ladder out and we'll get up on the roof. Well, while Sammy has a little walk and a wee after our long journey, turns out we fit in just fine. After Sammy met his cousin for the first time, we had a wonderful evening catching up before heading off to Stampy for a good night's sleep.
It's about 7:45 in the morning and we've just woken up outside my brother and sister-in-law's house. Far too many Prosecco's last night, oh my gosh. Why did I think that was a sensible idea? And we came very disorganised with no water in the motorhome. So thankfully my sister-in-law gave me a bottle of water which I was able to drink this morning. My liver is very grateful for that. We've also got another big bag of water for boiling the kettle and for Sammy's drink as well, so he's been okay, he's had his dinner. Now he's taking me for a walk. Not quite sure where we're going, I hope we can find our way back. Last night we used the oil-filled radiator, which is about the size of another dog in the motorhome, and embarrassingly I couldn't find my shoes this morning, so I'm wearing Daz's boots. So I'm wearing my pyjamas, a bright pink coat and size 9 boots. Yep. Absolutely ridiculous. Thank goodness it's still quite dark. Sammy's dictating the walk again. He wants to come and see the Father Christmas outside the care home. It's a really nice care home, to be honest. Wouldn't mind staying here myself in a few years. Well, that is a sight for 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Very jolly. It smells divine as well. He just wanted to go into the car park of the care home. There's a person there in their car looking at me with size 9 boots on and a pink coat and my pyjamas and a camera, and I'd sit and look at that. That just looks really weird, and a giant dog wearing a happy poncho. It would have been a sight to behold. I also did another brave thing yesterday, which was cutting or trimming Sammy's nails. So he has quite long toenails anyway, but they started to make a click clack on the floor. I watched quite a lot of YouTube videos and bought some sharp nail clippers and managed to do it, but he's got quite a few dark nails as well, so I had to be really careful, and he didn't enjoy the experience. He let me know that. It reminded me of when Phoenix was about 2 years old and he used to squirm around and hate having his toenails clipped. But now I've just noticed him walking on the pathway, he's not making that same tip-tappy clippy noise like he's wearing tap shoes, so I think I did a good job. Now Sammy, this is turning into a bit of a long walk and it's starting to get light and I'm aware I look mad. We need to go home soon, Sammy. So we've been coming to Brackley for nearly 2 decades now, because it's where my sister-in-law and brother live with their family, so it's nice to see our nephews and niece. It's a lovely town, the historic town centre, really nice place to visit, but it's surrounded by housing estates, which means you get families and you get a lot of facilities. So it's a really, really nice place to visit. We're back where we started. There's Stampy. I hope a cup of tea has been made. Let's see. Oh, still dark. I don't think there's going to be a cup of tea waiting for me. Just a theory. So we have finally run out of gas.
Another schoolboy lesson.
Yeah, no tea for me or Dad.
Luckily we're parked on someone's drive. So.
Yeah, and we've got we have their door keys, so they'll let us in. But hey ho. How long can the gas canister last? It lasted 6 whole months. We're quite pleased with that. We do realise that we do need to keep some on board. Quite lucky that it's run out outside my brother's house, so we can go in and use their facilities. I think if we were going and doing some wild camping, we would have thought twice before coming out without any stuff. Searching for gas canisters.
Yeah, well, I think that's the search you did. I do remember reading one commenter. They were moaning at somebody else saying, like, you're an idiot for not having a backup. I was just thinking...
Yeah, we know that. We are a pair of idiots.
But also, like, our spare space is full up with walking shoes. Yeah, it'd be useful if there was a little meter, you know, like you have in a car, just to tell you when you're running out. But it is our own fault. Where we are, we're hardly in the sticks, so you're never too far from being able to go and buy another one. I just don't know how you search for them. I know I've seen them in petrol stations at the side, all caged up. I don't know where else. So it's first time for us.
It's a lot of firsts, isn't there, this year?
Yeah.
We backed our way out of the close, and once the Morrison's driver got out of the way, we headed back down south.
So it just about fits in lovely, except the aerial is now casting a shadow over our solar panel. So we've got to try something else. So even with it butt up against that window, it's still catching on this lip. Let's try something else. My other worry while I'm up here is still this water. The sun just isn't high enough or warm enough to dry this out, and although it hasn't rained for a week, there is still water under there, and I don't want to seal a load of water inside, so I don't know how to get this dry before putting sealer on. And it's forecast to rain tomorrow for a week. Gosh, look at that. Well, here's plan C. Once again, it doesn't fit. I think what I might have to do is consider cutting these feet a little bit and fitting the side feet that we've got for extra grip. Here's another option. This is heading towards the front curve though, so again, fits lovely, room enough for the roof to pop up, no doubt there. But as it just hits the curve, I won't be able to bond that. Maybe I can tilt it. For today at least, there's my final idea. What about if I mount both of them on the slope? Except as you can see with today's sun, this wouldn't really be getting anything. And besides, I want to try and build a 400 watt system, so I've got to find room for 2 other panels as well as these 2. The beauty of this pack on eBay is these side pieces. Now, looking at where that lines up, I think I could put that, line that screw up with that one, put a new one through, and it will sit pretty at the back of this, but not over this lip.
What just happened, babe, on the motorway?
Well, we're on the A34 and it's a pretty grim day. The visibility is poor, but you know, sometimes you just see someone in a lay-by, you think he's going to pull out, or she, he's going to pull out, and sure enough, he just pulled out right in front of me.
And you were driving at what, 60 miles per hour?
At top speed, yeah. I'm 3.5 tons or 3 tons driving at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, that would have been.
Luckily,
squished.
the lane next to me was empty. But there he goes, there, look, get him.
Yeah, we won't put his number plate on, but that's him. Watch out for driving the silver car. That one. He's trouble. So we've had a nice time at my sister-in-law's and brothers.
Yeah.
Had a lovely Chinese, lots of wine, feeling a little bit peaky this morning.
We've also done a lot of talking about travelling. It's given us lots of inspiration for next year, hasn't it? So
can't wait to get going on a 3-monther, that's for sure. And we're on our way home now to have a nice quiet New Year's Eve after consuming far too many beverages last night. Possibly putting solar panels on the roof tomorrow, but we just looked at the weather forecast and it's 70% chance of rain for most of the day. So Daz is umming and ahhing about whether we can do that. But what we do want to do is give you some of the comparisons Daz has been doing for breakdown cover, but also membership to the two main camping and caravan associations or clubs, because it's taken a long time to decide what to do, and Daz has kind of drawn up a plan and a chart he really wants to share with you lot. I'm sure you guys have got opinions as well about both of the two main sites for club membership. We just can't decide which one to go for.
Can I just say, stop saying the word breakdown cover, because this is the last trip that we're going to be winging it on with no breakdown cover. I've just said it again. I've just got a feeling if you say it enough times you will break down.
Yeah. I can't believe though that this overnight stay we've just done, we have no gas, we have no water, and we didn't empty the waste from the last time we used it. So it was not a good experience for my 18-year-old's first time in the motorhome, but we'll make sure it's much better next time.
As we made our way through the South Downs, luckily we spotted this in the distance.
Wow,
Right.
that must have come down in last night's winds. Let's just hope no one's coming around the corner.
I know.
Thankfully we got to the end of our journey and the end of the year in one piece.
So Daz is taking a break, so it's a couple of days before Christmas, and
Sorry.
it's a couple of days, hello Sammy, it's a couple of days before Christmas, and most people would be doing some wrapping, the last minute bit of shopping, panicking about their food and who's coming to visit. What's Daz doing? He's up on the roof of the motorhome fitting solar panels, but I've forced him to sit down and talk me through his progress so far. But Sam Dog seems to be wanting to get involved in this conversation.
Maybe it's because I put the solar panel on his bed.
I think he's really fed up with you actually. I
Right.
think.
He does have about 3 beds in our house, you know.
Right, so what's going on?
Turns out, despite my best efforts for templating it a month or so ago,
It didn't fit?
doesn't fit anymore. One of the few places it does fit is shadowed by the TV aerial.
Well, that's no
So
good.
that's no good. So I had a little think, and I reckon I can use these side panels as end panels. The only thing is there's slightly less surface area with these side panels than there are on corners, but we'll put plenty of glue on it, stick it down, and then we'll run a cable, a safety cable, around both of the panels and their legs, and around something like the TV aerial on the roof, so that if the worst happens and it comes unstuck, at least it'll be flapping along the side of our van rather than dancing its way down the motor.
So I'm reading into this and thinking he's desperate to get this done before my birthday in January. Does that mean we're going somewhere exotic?
Where is their sun in January?
Gran Canaria? Oh. Yeah, we can't get the motorhome to Gran Canaria. Winter sun is probably more prevalent in Spain.
It's just key that we get this done
Oh,
ASAP.
happy Christmas.
The other thing is today's temperature, it's the warmest it's been in a week, but that warmth is only 5 degrees, I think today's the high, and the bonding material has to be in 5 degrees and up for application, so we won't be applying it today, and then tomorrow it's due to rain for something like a week. I mean, the other thing is there's like the cables are sort of underneath, are fitted at one end, and I haven't really worked out how the cables are going to run off the roof, but I've got, a hunch that it's that end. If it's not, I've got to change those feet all down to this end, and the screws won't line up, and I'll have to do it all again. But hey ho.
It's all a learning curve, isn't it?
You aren't watching this channel for like expert advice, are you?
Yeah, you're not going to get that here.
I'm going to warm my hands up and get back to it.
Yeah, come on, for goodness sake.
So if we line that up there with enough room to lift, we now have this much space down this end. That's the result. We've just got to find space for the other one.
So it's New Year's Day. Oh, hello, Sammy. It's New Year's Day and it's time for a walk because somebody is chomping at the bit to get out into the woods. And it's none of our children. I don't even think it's the adults. It's this guy here with the black hair. Hey, Sam. Sam. Want to go for a walk, yeah? Predictably, the boys have got absolutely soaked playing in the river, which is fine. But 1st of January's definitely got us thinking about our plans for the spring and summer months. And we've been discussing our plans for what we'd like to do at the tail end of the spring and the summer, which does involve us being away for quite a long time. Lots of adventuring, lots of exploring. Let's just hope we can get all the plans into place so that we can make it work. And that will involve doing something with the house that we're in. It will involve making sure we've got everything in place for the boys' home ed. And some kind of rough plan. More like a list of things and experiences that we'd like to have, and perhaps planning a rough route, which we don't have to stick to. And we can divert. We can also stay a little bit longer somewhere if we think it's really, really nice.
Happy New Year. Yeah. Dad joke, I know. But it's in my contract.
When we do go away, we want to make use of airs, but we also want to make use of some of the wonderful campsites and caravan parks that you can find around France. We're not keeping the location secret, of course it's where we want to go. But we were also discussing the possibility of having some other educational experiences. A couple of years ago, we signed up to something called Workaway. And we invited, in the year of the pandemic, interestingly, a lovely French teenager to come and stay at our house for a couple of weeks in the summer to spend time with our children, to help our children with French. And of course, we gave her a spare room and she ate meals with us, and it was a really lovely experience, I think, for her and for us. And then a couple of weeks after that, we had a lady come over from Brazil, and she stayed in our house for a couple of weeks. And again, same thing, she told us about her culture, she spent time with the children, and she ate with us and explored the local area, and it was really, really lovely. And we were just thinking we could offer our services as a Workaway family, keep our motorhome in the grounds of somewhere, and perhaps do simple things from fruit picking to basic gardening. As long as they're happy to have that, we could even do some house sitting or pet sitting in certain houses in France. On the world schooling pages that I am part of, people are always looking for dog sitters, cat sitters, people that can stay in their homes, and they're in all different far-flung destinations, but there'll be French ones as well. That's something we can put our feelers out for, see if we can do the odd stint in somebody's house in France with their motorhome parked outside. The possibilities are just keep flowing. I know this is a 1st of January thing, but this is what we've planned for a long time. It's just nice to feel like we're now in the year of the big road trip.
So I've been quite a lousy Boy Scout in that we weren't prepared at all for our last trip. Ran out of gas, didn't have any water, and I left the toilet cassette in there for about a week. So it resembled something close to a customary toilet, I imagine. So today, 1st of January, first job. Happy Poo Year's Day. The only thing is, this done us stink the house out for about 2 hours, so sorry everyone. Right, I've done the worst bit, which is emptying the toilet. But there is, I don't know if anyone has an idea about this. In here, there is an ever increasing puddle when I go to retrieve the cassette. And I don't know what we're doing wrong, or if we're just leaving it full up for too long and then also driving around bumping into things, going over bumps, and it's spilling. But anyway, I've got the closest thing I can find to a hazmat suit, and I'm gonna do the last bit. I hope somebody's looking down on us and can reward me for all this hard work. It's not hard actually, it just stinks. Maybe I should have done this after lunch.
Well, while I consider how hard I'm going to scrub my hands before lunch, you can consider subscribing to our channel or watching another one of our videos. But until our next escape, thanks for watching.